Lance Silverwolf here with Little Empire. When you're putting together woodcut pieces from Little Empire, here's some tools you might be needing. Wood glue is going to come in handy. You can also use super glue for putting these together, but super glue is going to lead to a lot of sticky, messy fingers. I do recommend the wood glue. Acrylic art paints, a paintbrush, some paint trays, a razor blade. Always be careful with knives and blades. A little bit of sandpaper, pencil, a couple craft supplies like that always come in handy. And for putting together some of these buildings, towers, and trays, you might use a small rubber mallet to gently knock some of these pieces together. When applying glue, you want to apply a couple of beads of glue and then use your finger to dab at it and spread it along the piece. That way you're not getting glue blobbing out of the sides or anything. Most of the time though, you're just going to need your trusty wood glue to put most of these together, and that's going to work best for you. We are putting together the Mausoleum right now from Little Empire. Open the box. This one has a lot of pieces. We're going to take them out and spread them out on the table and go over what these different pieces are. Your Little Empire thank you card will be in there. We have a roof. We have a base. Outside wall parts. These are flying buttresses. You should have 6 of those. These are the top of the roof right here, along the top of the edge of the roof here. This is some decoration for the top. It can also double as a wizard tower. Part of the flying buttresses here, you should also have 6 of these pieces. And then you will have 4 walls right there. That's all the pieces for the Mausoleum. Great place to start with this Mausoleum here, like all these pieces, is the 4 main walls. What you do, everyone has more tabs on the bottom than they do on the top on these. So you're gonna make sure all these wall pieces are facing out. The least amount of tabs facing the front. So on this piece, 2, on this piece, 1, 2 and 1. You'll notice a lot of these pieces have what look like scorch marks on one side, which give them a little bit of character and flavor. On the other side, you can tell which side is the front and which side is the back by those scorch marks and the way they look. These have a little bit of a honeycomb edge to them. These are nice even burns. That's the top side of the front side when we talk about that. All 4 pieces, holding it together with your fingers. If you are gluing this, I recommend putting everything together by hand first of all, make sure it all fits and you know where the different pieces line up so you know where to apply the glue. On this base plate, it doesn't matter which side you want the front to be. Once you have all these 4 pieces and are either glued or holding them in place, set them onto that base plate, and it takes a little wiggling, a little maneuvering, but they should all drop right in. If you put the walls on, 2 side walls, and then try to add the other front walls, sometimes you can't get the pieces to sit right. That's why we recommend having the whole section here and then sliding it down, fitting it in. Next comes the roof, which looks a little complicated, but that's because these pieces are going to go in and these pieces are going to be going in. We place the 4 squares, that's kind of the back of the building, this side. Over here is the front of the building, that's where this door is going to be. So we're gonna slide that on there. This is a little bit more difficult in the way that you gotta keep your eye on it. I start in the front and then work my way along the back a little bit, kind of wiggling the pieces as they go along, getting a feel for them, and then pushing it down firmly. If at any time you need to, you can use that wood rubber mallet to give it a light tap. Nothing too hard or crazy, just light taps should have everything drop into place. There we go, that is the basic Mausoleum shape right there. You see all those sides. Now we have these along the watchtower sides here. You'll notice a little owl right over here. He is going to be going in the front. Some of these sides will just fit nice and easy together. You can kind of hold them in place as you go to set them down. All right, here's a tricky part that I just messed up on. This right here goes with this owl side. You'll see that drop right there. So that part goes right there. Those fit together. And then this side is a little more intricate. You'll notice that when designing, I just wanted to make sure I could stabilize that owl side a little more. These top pieces too, when applying pressure and putting these together, try not to push on these pointy parts. They could break or snap off. During prototyping, a couple of those did. Now sometimes it's going to be a little difficult to wiggle all these in place holding it, so what you can do is get 3 in place, and I left the tolerance on these tops a little looser so that when you go to put these in, you can kind of slightly lift it up, align those, slightly lift it up, align those, and then again hold and then wiggle all that down in place. Again, that's a little loose. The glue is going to hold that nice and tight. Glue along the bottom edge, hold it down for a few seconds until that wood glue sets, and it should be sitting pretty. The next part right up here in the top is this symbolic lightning tower. Maybe he's making a Frankenstein monster in the basement of this mausoleum. Give that a push. You can sometimes set things on table either with the hammer or just a push down. All those 4 should be sitting down nice and even. And again, that just pops right into those top 4. And there you have the roof marked off in inch increments, looking real nice. Here is the front, here's the back of the mausoleum. You're gonna add some glue to here, some wood glue, dab, dab, dab. Spread with your fingers, get it tacky, make sure it's not bubbling up. Nice and light, but a little bit everywhere is the way to go. And then that's gonna come right here to the front of the building, glue and hold, and that should stay just fine. The back piece, same sort of thing, glue along it, right there in the back. These might drop off a little bit as I'm adding these flying buttresses, but with glue, of course, those will be staying on there. The flying buttresses, these are 6 of the exact same piece. You're going to slide them together like this. It gets a little sticky right there, so you have to kind of wiggle it and pick it up a little bit, maneuver it, and then tap it right into place. Assemble 6 of those real quick. Oh, look at that. The inspiration for this was maybe some sort of graveyard scenario an adventurer could be on, but it could also double as an evil wizard's lair. So of course, you and your players and adventurers will have to figure out how this fits in your world. It could just be where your ancestors are buried. Maybe there's a magic item hidden in there somewhere that your characters have to find. 6 flying buttresses that then go along these sides right here. Again, a lot of these pieces might take a little wiggling, a little maneuvering, but you can give them a little bit of force, you can give them a little bit of pressure as long as you're not pushing on thin pieces or pieces that could snap. If you're supporting the piece as you're pushing it, you're going to be fine. A little glue along the inside of these edges, and as you push it in, you can hold it there for a few seconds until that glue sets. Give it a little spin. Add 3 more to this side. Looking good. And there you have it. That is your mausoleum or wizard's tower right there.